Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to Sugar Hill Art Studio. It is not Monday, but it's Art Snacks. Yesterday was a holiday. We had Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which means schools are closed. And when you have kids that play sports, that means there's a tournament somewhere happening on something. And my lovely sister and her family were here, and I got to see my nephew play soccer, or not soccer, hockey. It was super fun. They're 9 and 10-year-olds out there on the hockey rink. I mean, I give them a lot of credit, those little dudes and girls. Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you're hopping on, let me know. Give me a hello. I love to see that the comments are working. Hopefully the storms stay away. It just got really, really dark. Hi, Joni. Hi, sweetie. How are you? It just got really, really dark and really, really rainy, but we should be okay. Everything should stay up and running, and let's just keep going with that. All right. So, hello, Lisa. So we have art swaps with friends, right? You may have seen this. There were well over 60 of you that have signed up. All right. The deadline for signing up was actually last week, but I've had a couple people ask and kind of sneak in there. Here's the key. You get an email. After you sign up, you're going to receive an email from me, and that email requests that you fill out a survey. The survey is very simple, very easy to use, and it really just helps me, number one, know if you are willing to ship internationally, because I have people from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, the UK signed up for this. So that's one question that I kind of really need to know your opinion on. And then it's like a backup file. There is your mailing address in case you and the partner that you're sending to, if you have a hard time. But I just need to track some things in order to put well over 60 people in a swap circle, right? Hello, Paula, how are you? So in order to do all of that, I need you to check your emails, all right? sugarhilldesignstudio@gmail.com. Make sure that's on your list as of right now. That'll be changing, but right now that's the email that it's coming from. It is safe and secure, don't worry. And get that survey filled out if you want to be in, because I'm going to end that and I've got to start putting everybody in a circle to start getting our swap going for February. Super fun. If you are new, if you're not exactly 100% sure what I'm talking about, or if you want to join, just send me a direct message, okay? But basically we're doing a little fun art swap, and you must send a tag, because like all last year we did Tag a Tuesday over here at Sugar Hill, right? A tag, an ATC card, an actual card, a piece of mini art, absolutely anything that you want, but it has to be one completed piece of artwork for your partner that you're sending to, right? To be able to display in their home or put up next to their desk, or something that they're like, oh, this was so sweet to arrive. And then if there's anything else that you want to send, like some ephemera, some of your painted papers, some other little anythings that you want to include in your envelope, you are more than welcome to. Do whatever you want in that sense. But you need to send at least an artist trading card, or a 5x7 painted card, a handmade something by you, a tag, mini art, anything like that. Okay, so that's Art Swaps with Friends. And then we have our January journal prompts, right? Remember, 21 prompts, do 21 things. It becomes a habit, or at least it helps you get on your way to habit. We have our little journal that I'm working in for these prompts, and I am thinking hearts today. Really, I had a memory from the past pop up into my Time Hop. It's an app that brings up all old pictures that you take, right? And from when I was teaching littles in Washington State, we did Jim Dine. Now, Jim Dine is kind of a pop artist. He doesn't love that title, but he fits into it because he uses bright colors. He takes inanimate objects. He He's really cool. If you haven't seen him, like, kind of just check out his art. He is really well known for his heart art. It's super fun. There's 1,000 different creative ways you can mess with it. And, well, I'm going to show you one. I keep going back and forth exactly how I want to do it, but we're going to turn this down so I can get moving. It's quick. Art Snacks is supposed to be no more than a half an hour. It's typically on Monday at 12:30. Nice little break in your Monday morning day. But today it's Tuesday. I'm talking a lot. I'm going to flip you down. I'm going to start working, and I am going to show you just how to create a fun little gym dine, or just some heart art that you may want to do on cards, you may want to do on tags, you may want to do it in your journal, thousands of ways, right? All right, so let me get this up. Let me zoom in just a bit here and make sure you're good. Is this going to turn on for me so I can watch comments? And I am going to work in, what do I have? This is one of the mixed media papers that I put in my binder, or in my journal, right? I sewed in. I'm working on just mixed media paper. I am going to work with acrylics because they'll dry nice and quickly. I also will be using my Stabilo. I think I'm going to use my Stabilo all, but I could use my Woody Stabilo stick. I could use a watercolor pencil or charcoal. I could use oil pastel. Okay, there's lots of different things, but you want something. You want to use something that might be a little smudgy. Okay? So simple, quick, and super fun. You could even just use, if you wanted to use a marker, you could use a Tombow marker that's water soluble, right? That's going to move around for you. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm just pulling things up on the iPad. I pull it up and then it disappears as I start talking. Okay, so some of you may be maybe a stickler for a perfect heart. If you are, go online or have a stencil, a tracer, whatever it is. For those of you that aren't so concerned about having a perfect heart, just lightly take your pencil and draw a heart on your paper. Now, it's up to you. Try, one thing that I suggest to you guys is to try drawing hearts. Tried many different ways, you know, that typical start from the middle and bring it down. But what if you don't bring it down? What if you start from the bottom, right? What if you use your non-dominant hand? Go the opposite way with your non-dominant hand. So if you just start drawing hearts in a lot of different steps and a lot of directions, you're going to see a lot of different heart shapes kind of start to form, right? In just your drawing exercise. This is a super fun exercise to do too. Do you see how I just have some of my scrap under paper here and I'm just drawing hearts over it? Yeah, super fun. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So I have comments. And not my voice. I don't need to hear what I'm saying. There you guys are. All right. So if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. Back to our page. I think I am going to do it this. I'm going to stick with this. Okay. So I just have a heart drawn. All right. And it's just given me a little bit of an outline. I know you probably can't see it with this pencil, but I want it to stay kind of small. Well, here, I'll draw. It's just a heart. It's just a heart. And I'm not going to worry too much about it, okay? So just get your heart drawn. If you want it perfect, you get yourself, you know, either print it out or get yourself some sort of a tracer, a sticker, and you draw your heart. It's all good. And then it's that typical, warm, cool color theory. Okay. So am I going to do warm colors inside and cooler colors outside? I think so. Ooh, we got some red. Can you see my color palette here? I did zoom in quite a bit, but I don't want to get too out of control. Is this cat? I want primary. I don't think I have it. Let's go with a little bit more orange and a yellow, and I'll get my neon out. Oh, let's kind of try to get away from the colors I use all the time. But I can't go without the neon. Just can't do it. Okay. So it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to use a paintbrush, if you want to use a perfect round paintbrush, a kind of really scrubby, beat up flat brush. Do you want to use a palette knife? Do you want to use your fingers? But we're going to just start to put some marks. All right, inside. We are going to keep our, don't wash your brush. You're using all the same colors, right? This is one of my favorite things to teach. You're using the same warm tones of color. So don't think that you need to wash your brush. And I'm just going to kind of dab things in here. Grab some yellow. All right, they're all on the same, they're analogous. They're on the same side of the color wheel. These are warm tones. Red, orange, yellow, and we can put a bit of purple. Purple, depending on if it has more red or blue in it, kind of falls in between those two. And you see how depending which brush you choose, what tool you choose to use, is going to definitely give you a certain look, right, to your heart. And if I switch and kind of go across on some, all my marks aren't exactly the same. Okay. This is just a super fun exercise. And let's hit it with a little bit more. Okay. Didn't take much, did it? Didn't take much paint, didn't take much time. And because I have paint on my brush, I'm going to make sure I use some of it, and I love on my under paper. Okay, and then I'm gonna rinse that. I'm gonna just throw that over there, because those hearts I will use. Thank you all that are popping on and hanging out with us. Okay, now on the outside, I am going to go with those kind of cooler colors. And I don't know, I'm just grabbing. So I've just got some blues and some blue greens, right? And I'm gonna put those over here. Now, I'm not going to keep everything exactly opposite towards the end, but right now, this is just a super fun and easy way to kind of put, this one I must have left the top off because it is, I don't have a pen. I don't have a pin. Always have pins at your workspace, because when you get clogged up, you're going to want to be able to get into the paint without taking too much time to get into the paint. All right, we're going to, oops, there's a whole lot. All right, so now you need to grab just a piece of scrap paper. Kind of put down here. Just because I don't want to totally really cover the, I don't want to ruin the other pages. All right, well, I got a lot of that, so let's kind of just smoosh. I want a little bit of a different texture on the outside, right? So I'm just going for my finger. Palette knife works great. Just a different brush, honestly. If you don't want to finger paint, if you don't want to get messy. But do you see, this is why I like my finger on the outside. My students always liked the finger part on the outside too, because it lets us kind of get in there. It's really freeing when you use your fingers. You stop thinking as much, right? You're not controlling another tool. You're only worrying about your marks. So you're allowed to focus a little bit more on the your intention. Like, it's a little more intentional art, which means that it really just enables you to not think. Do you see how hard it is for me to talk right now, like a little bit, just because I'm focusing on where I want the paint to go and what colors I'm seeing, but I'm also working on my brain is trying to decipher the two things. Let me see how we can get in there. I'm just going to kind of do that. Okay, so now, and that's okay. See how that just happened? I actually want a little bit of that to happen. So that being said, I'm going to come in and I'm going to add just a bit, not a lot, but I'm going to add some of those outside colors, or the inside colors, the warm colors, to the outside, right? And then I still have some of this cool blue that I really like, and it just didn't stand up against some of those greens. I'll come in with some of the blues after inside. Okay, I do have to dry for a quick second. Anybody have any comments? Anything? Oh yeah, use your fingers. Look at the difference. I'm hoping the colors are showing up. I just want to get it a little more dry. All right, I just wanted the inside a little bit more dry. We're just going to play a little bit. So if you have any water soluble type tools, even if it's a watercolor pencil, right? I have these Woody Stabilos. I have Neocolor. I have a lot of different things. But right now, I'm just using kind of a Woody Stabilo. Don't I have a pink? I thought I had a pink. I don't know. Let's kind of go over. And I'm just putting in some more shapes, okay? Yes, my shapes happen to be, I use this shape all the time in my art. If you have noticed, there's often some little jagged V hearts, right? So I'm just kind of getting that in there. Maybe deciding to put a little bit of an edge. Now these I've never used. Art crayons? I don't know, it still has the thing. Should I try it? Should I just try it if I can get it open? because it's right here next to me is really why I'm using what I'm using here. That's kind of, I don't know what that's going to do. It's like a really slippery, it's somewhere between an oil pastel. So I don't know what that's going to do, perhaps with like, but it's blending in over some of these white areas nicely. And I want a little bit more. I don't want to hit that too much in the middle because I want to be able to get my outline. Okay, so see how we got a little bit of purple in there? You kind of want to use a little bit of the same colors in and out. Okay, how am I doing on time? I've got 10 minutes. That's a ton of time. Okay, so now you can do a couple of different techniques. But if you looked up Jim Dine at all, the biggest thing, his biggest, you know, thing that's gonna pop him out from others is his ability to kind of make a rounded little bit of a heart, okay? So if you have a Stabilo pencil, right? Remember the Stabilo pencils. It's not going to really smudge with my hands, but what is it going to do when I add water to it? It's going to go crazy, right? It's definitely going to smudge. This is just copy paper, so it's not going as, it's not coming off as much. If you have, this is just the light. If you have charcoal, which this is just a wash pencil, not charcoal. Here's my Woody Stabilo. Okay, this is really going to smudge, and this is probably what I'm going to use. Any water soluble, or, well, this is brown, but it's here. You could use oil pastel, right, and really just kind of drag that in. If you use chalk pastels, you're going to have to seal it. If you use oil pastels, just know that you're going to have some layover on the other page, or you need to put something over it. So let's use the Woody Stabilo, and I am going to, this is probably why I love Jim Dine even more, is because he does a messy kind of line, okay? He does that. He doesn't necessarily need to embrace the shake, but he's definitely a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of scattered. I'm gonna kind of just cut in. When I taught this with kids, I always used oil pastels. All right, but if I come in here, and not everywhere, but in places, it's getting really wet, kind of bring it in, you're going to start to see that heart. All right, you're going to start to see that heart take. But I don't like that brisk. Like if I just do this, you see how liney that is? I don't want that on this one. But play with your textures. Play with what you have. Okay. And see how much that pops out. I can bring that in more. You see that? Pretty neat, isn't it? I know it's so simple. It can be so elementary, but my friends, don't disregard elementary steps in your art. If you haven't learned anything from the great artists, that is certainly one. Like even in abstract art, we have to understand composition and color, and it's not just throwing some things down. Jim Dine, yeah, heart art. Jim Dine's heart art is just fabulous. Now I can come out here a little bit if I want and kind of play a little bit more. Right, now the rest is up to you. The rest is up to you. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? So now once this dries, do I want to put watercolor over the top? Do I want to take some inks? Do I want to put something on the top? Do I want to take my Stabilo pencil maybe and kind of just make some marks? And then with this somewhat damp, kind of see what happens, right? This is where your creative intuition just comes in. You just play. Now, this is where the journaling, so I gave you the basis. Now you do what you want, right? Kind of on this art journaling page. And then just play with your tools, see what you have. See how things mix. Note what kind of paper you're using, what you're playing on, and what are you going to do? You know, what do you want to focus more on the back? Do you want to bring the back more? Do you like it up? There we go. And just have fun. That's the whole creative outlet process. Okay, so let me zoom back out here, flip you up, get right side up. There we go. All right, so super simple, but very, very fun, right? Anybody have any? Yeah. So look up Jim Dine, look up some art, play with it. You get the basis down and then keep playing, but that's one way to kind of bring shape to your heart, is just add some black and smear it in. You can use a crayon. You can use a Crayola black marker and then kind of smear it in. All right, it's just gonna help give it a little round. I definitely will probably take some white, right, and work in and do some doodles and different things. But now this page, however you decide to do it, this is just a great start. That's what Art Snacks is about, right? It's just throwing ideas, little tidbits of Art Snacks at you for you to use as a jumping board into something fabulous. And remember, it's just a journal page, so you can't mess it up. Okay, you can't mess it up. Don't worry about perfection. Art journaling, we do it to have progress, not perfection. We do it to play with all the things we decide to buy. We want to get in there and experiment, right? That's what art journaling is for. It's not for a perfect finished piece at all. Sometimes things came out really, really awesome. You take a picture, you turn it into, send it to a printer and have them make a print of something you did in your journal that you absolutely love. You can do so many things, but you have to play in your journals if you want to grow in your art skills, if you want to grow your mind in creativity and inspiration. You have to kind of play here before you take it to giant canvas. And your art journaling is just a great creative way. So the journal prompts we do, right, just as inspiration. Some people put like 3 or 5 prompts all on one page. Fantabulous. Some people do a page. Some people go in order. Others bounce around. Some conquer 21 prompts every single month. Some get 5 done. No matter what, it's a win. You are creating. The biggest thing I can tell you is use your journals to experiment with, how all of your supplies, just if you want to, how your supplies work together. Because I throw thousands of supplies at you. You guys ask about a lot of them. But if you're not using them, what's the point, right? What's the point? So use them. Have fun. Play with some heart art. Check out Jim Dine. He does really cool things. His grandfather, owned a hardware store, so he did a lot of cool things with tools as well. I love his drawing, sketching. He's a poet. There's a lot of inspiration to be had by great artists of our past. And he's not even that past. I mean, he's still alive and making really awesome art. So he's not long gone like Vincent van Gogh. All right. So I think I finished. It's 1 minute past. Have fun. Play with some heart art. Play with, taking some black. Don't make it exact. Kind of get a little messy, right? Get in there so that you can start to create more dimensional art instead of just flat hearts. All right, guys, I'm out. You have a beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you later. Bye.